listen, let's get on to our guest co-host today, who is the founder of the Female Founders Network, a community that supports and empowers female entrepreneurs right here in Dubai. Please welcome to the sofa, to the show, Nicki Bedford. Nicki, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you being our guest co-host today on what is a topic that is very close to your heart. I mean, a lot of people like to be part of a network, be part of a community. Very few actually set one up as well. But a lot of people would suggest that, you know, the very setting up of a community is to answer a need in the community as a whole. What sort of niche did you find? What hole did you find that was missing in the community?
Perfect. So let me start by giving you a little bit of a background, because I think that will easily answer your question. But for me, I spent most of my career in the tech, media and advertising space. I was head of Asia Pacific at BuzzFeed and always was trying to climb the corporate ladder until I wanted to create the ladder myself. My father, he always treated me like the son of the family, and he was a businessman himself. And he would say things like, Nicki, you deserve more than 2 seats at the boardroom table, and you know, you should always go after what you want and never apologize. And so I moved through my career with this level of confidence that I noticed not all women were taught to lead in the same way. And so with that insight, I launched She Leads the Way, which is a podcast for ambitious women, but I wanted to take it one step further. And so I built the Female Founders Network, which is backed by Google, one part community, one part education. But the niche was, it's leading into community and making sure it's a really safe space. It's really easy to come into the hustle and bustle area of Dubai and think, and get so caught up in it. But when you have a genuine community where you can feel like you're connected, you can be vulnerable, but also celebrate the wins, that is something that is much needed. But then on the other side, obviously, having that level of education to take you to the next level.
Nicki, what, in your opinion, what makes any kind of business network truly valuable? Because it's not just about meeting for coffee and muffins, but you know, how do you get real growth out of it?
Yes, I mean, sometimes people only come for the muffins.
I don't blame them. I come just for the coffee.
But essentially, it comes down to two main things. One is social capital. So social capital is business capital. We hear time and time again that your network is your net worth. And that couldn't be more true, especially when it comes to founders. 80% of all new business opportunities come directly from your network. So that's things like new clients or new partnerships or even funding. So it's so important that you're showing up in the right rooms and building the right relationships. And then on the other side, and I spoke to it earlier, it's all about that education. So if you're a founder, it's one thing having community, but then on the other hand, you also want to know, okay, well, am I learning how to scale my business? And so that's, I guess, what sets it apart.
And talking about scaling, why is it so important for founders to prepare for investment before they actually need it?
Yes, absolutely. This is such a big one, because the biggest gap that I see with founders is they are scrambling for capital when they're already under pressure within their business. It takes quite a long time to build out a compelling story, show traction within your business, or even to understand exactly what investors are looking for. So the founders that have the best outcomes are those that are building relationships early. They are taking that feedback and then refining their offering well before they need to pitch. And then they're going into it with so much more confidence because they've done the groundwork.
With such a sort of great, ambitious and successful startup ecosystem here at the moment, what's holding founders back here? Because, you know, the press, the media would have us believe that you come with a good idea, that's it.
Yeah.
You're going to be a unicorn before the year is out, etc. What's holding founders back?
That's so funny, because that is absolutely the energy that is here. I think, you know, there is no shortage of vision, purpose, enthusiasm for founders, but the biggest thing that holds them back in most cases is what's going on up in here in their mind. You know, the mindset, the roller coaster, the ups and downs. But essentially it boils into two key areas. One is perfectionism. So if they're about to launch a product or even launching their brand, it's worrying about making sure it looks perfect before it goes out. The more mistakes you make in business, the more the business will grow. That's just the reality. So you can't be afraid of testing and learning. I remember when I woke up and I was like, no, I have to do the Female Founders Network. It's such a passion. And I got my partner to take a video of me to announce that I was starting, and it was just, he did a terrible job, and I edited it myself with the captions but it was just me saying, hello female founders of Dubai, whereas now I have a marketing team and they would they would absolutely disown me if I ever published anything that looked remotely similar. And the point is, we've made it to a point where obviously we've outgrown what was necessary, but if I didn't just go live, then I wouldn't have learned, and then I wouldn't have been able to scale myself. And then on the second point is the competitive nature.
Yeah.
So one's perfectionism, but the other is you're so caught up in your mind thinking about what other people are doing, or why are they doing it that way, or you come onto Instagram and you can see, 20 other people are doing it the same way. Whereas for me, and I know it's not always the case, you need to make sure that you have a good market understanding, but you should mute all of those accounts and just lead with what your vision is, because there is only one you and only one of your visions. So I think that, those are...
Nicki, you've previously said that founders are the new media brands. What does this mean in practice, and why is this more relevant than ever before?
Yes, oh my gosh, we are. So founders are a walking billboard. Everything that you do, say, how you interact with people all builds your credibility. And in today's world, trust is built in public. So it's so incredibly important to lead with your personal brand. 86% of people are more likely to buy from someone they trust without having to look at any further research, which is just wild. So if they trust you, they're more likely to purchase your brand without figuring out if that brand really suits them perfectly, because they trust you. So these days, there is so much power in having a great personal brand. You are a media company in your own right. So building out that trust, so who you are, what do you do, and why people should trust you is essential.
And Nicki, how do you see UAE in general continue to shape the next generation of founders?
So the UAE has such an incredible marketplace for founders. I have never experienced anything like it. I mean, I heard you speaking up here earlier as well. It's just the welcoming nature of it, the amount of investment that they're making for startups, the tech, the AI. It's an absolute playground, and I think that in the next 5 years we're only ever going to see the best of the best emerge from this market. And that's why having a business network is so important, because when all of this is going around, you need to be able to ground yourself in a network that people are able to sort of keep you on track without losing yourself in the process.
So how can one join the female founders network?
Oh my gosh, my favorite question. So join Female Founders Network, go to femalefounderofficial.com, and all of the details are there. We've also got an Instagram page, Female Founder Official, and that's where you find us.